Hey everybody, it's Tuesday and it's 2 o'clock. So that means it is time for Top 5 Tuesday. And I am your host, Kate Dillon from CrateInsider.com. And while I'm waiting for people to jump on here, I want to point out, check it out, I got a new sign. I actually was in the CVS pharmacy and I don't know, I can't resist like the general merchandise aisles where they just have the seasonal stuff. And I just thought that was just way too cool. Super fun. So it actually lights up, but since I have another light coming in, it just kind of washed it out. So I had to keep the light off. Otherwise it still looks weird. So anyway, let me know what you think about my new sign. If you like the new sign. And hello, I got a couple people joining. So hello, you guys. And I have a fun giveaway this week because one of my friends, one of the manufacturers, I saw them post and I was like, hey, can you send me a couple of those? Because I want to get them to my audience. And that is the Hookers Save Lives t-shirt from our friends over at Hooker Harnesses. So it's a pretty cool shirt. We've got Hookers Save Lives. I figure it was right on the heels of last week I was talking about stripper glitter. And now we've got Hookers Saving Lives. I don't know what's happening to this show. And on the back of this shirt, we have the Hooker Harness logo, and it's pretty cool. And I thought this would be a perfect opportunity. And by the way, this happens to be a 2XL t-shirt. It is what it is. It's what I've got. And whoever wins this week, this is what I'll be sending you. And in order to win, all you need to do is just leave a comment. You can say hi. You can leave an emoticon. If you're watching this, well, if you're watching this live, they have all those little things on the bottom because I know I check in on some live videos every once in a while. So I don't care if it's a waving hand or whatever you want to put as a comment. At the end of this video, then I'll bring up random number generator and pop in the number, however many comments we have. It'll spit out a number. I just count down the list and see that's whoever wins what we're giving away, which this week is a Hookers Save Lives t-shirt. And that gave me a perfect opportunity to talk a little bit about seatbelts because I have been a dealer for Hooker Harness for quite a while. So I brought in a Hooker Harness setup. Now, it's just kind of hard to show on camera because of all the stuff. But there was something I wanted to point out to you, actually two things. One thing I really love about the Hooker Harness system is that it comes with this little ratchet right here. So once you're strapped into the seat, I didn't even think about this. I could have done this earlier and I didn't even think about it. But let's say, hey, I'm just going to pretend I have seatbelts on. Look at that. Because you just never know what's going to happen on Top 5 Tuesday or what I'll think of when it happens. But what's cool is once you're all strapped in, this little ratchet on the side, you just ratchet it down. I mean, you could think that you're tight in your seatbelts, but you realize once you start ratcheting it down that you weren't tight at all. And it's just like, if you've ever, I'm sure everybody who watches this show, including myself, has tried to strap something to the top of a car or to the back of a pickup truck, and you think you've got it tight, but you get going down the road, and next thing you know, it's just flopping all over the place. I actually had it happen with a car on a trailer. Oh my God, that is like seriously the most nightmare story of my life. Was moving across the country, driving a U-Haul, pulling my car. Seriously, the most nightmare thing, the worst experience of my entire life. It was that. But one thing that happened is the guys that set up my car on the trailer didn't actually strap it down all the way. So I got halfway across the country and here's the trailer and my car was sitting like you couldn't even open the driver's side door, but you had like a foot of room on the passenger side. It was freaking crazy. So anyway, back to seatbelts. Obviously, one of the best ways to be safe in your seatbelt harnesses is to make sure that they are as tight as possible so that you are tight onto that chair. And the ratchet is one of the things that will do that. And that's what I really love. In fact, when at the end of this video, I'll post links to everything I talk about. And I did get a chance to sit with the folks from Hooker at PRI, and we actually did the demonstration with that ratchet. And it's just such a cool system. You guys should really check it out. And with that, with any seatbelt, it doesn't really matter what brand you have. I wanted to point out, this is really a perfect time of year. So here's like the SFI label, and this is just my demo set, so that's why it's a little bit older. But you can see on this SFI label that it is marked, I'm trying to get it so the camera will focus. Come on, camera, you can do it. I mean, sorry, I talked to my computer all day. But, okay, it's a little bit fuzzy, but you get the general idea, is that it's punched out with the date that the seatbelts were put together. Now, you'll find a lot of sanctioning bodies will have in their rules that you need to have seatbelts that are 2 years old or less. You know, any older than 2 years old, then you need to replace your seatbelts. Since we are getting to the end of the season, now is a really good time to take a look at that and just to know if you need to start thinking about new seatbelts for, you know, next season. I know it's September, fully aware, but we are reaching the end of the season. And, you know, you don't really want to have a surprise expense like that. You know, you don't want to show up at the track, you know, for your first race of the year next year and then find out that your seatbelts are out of date and then you can't race. So also, it's a great thing to ask for Christmas. Is seatbelts, because, you know, obviously your family wants to keep you safe. So great thing to ask for Christmas. And I know it's September, I know, but I keep seeing all these fall posts and I mean, I'm not ready for it to be winter time, not at all. But anyway, that's, you know, if you have any questions about seatbelts, feel free to drop them into the comments. And, you know, if there's anything that I can't answer, I'll get the guys from Hooker to come on over and answer those questions for you guys, because this is just a really important thing here, you know, to keep you safe, because, you know, we're not in these race cars to put on parade. You know, so bumps and scratches and run into walls and stuff, that stuff is going to happen. And I want you guys to, I want you guys to be around for another race. So definitely take a look at your safety equipment and look at that SFI label. Then also, okay, so the next thing I want to announce, I always like to do some kind of a little featured thing, and I had no idea that I'd be strapping myself to my office chair, kind of, sort of, but that was kind of fun. I might have to do that again. I wanted to point out today, earlier today, I posted a video on the Crate Insider Facebook page, also on our YouTube channel, and I got to go to, I was in California a few weeks ago in San Diego, and there's a great racing family out there, the Henrys, and so I got a chance to get together with them and do some interviews. And so today I posted the interview with Royce Henry, who's the driver. He is the IMCA track champion at Verona Speedway. I'm going to try to enunciate. Along with Mark Norris Racing, where they take care of his car on a weekly basis and actually take care of a bunch of cars. So I got a chance to talk with them, and it is a direction I want to go with Crate Insider. Yes, I do a ton of stuff about products, but, you know, there are a lot of stories out there. I think there are a lot of drivers who can talk about, you know, their programs and what they're doing and what's working. And I do want to try and get out there. Most of the time I'm surrounded by these four walls that you see. I mean, you only see one of them, but there's, you know, obviously three more in this room. This is normally what I see, but I would like to get out there and talk to more of you guys when I'm, especially if I'm away from North Carolina. And speaking of North Carolina, I've had a lot of people ask, you know, how are we doing with the flooding and the hurricanes? I'm personally in way western North Carolina, so it was raining. I mean, it rains here all the time, so it's not like it's that big of a surprise. But we have no damage here. I think a couple people had the power go out, but again, that happens all the time too, because it rains all the time. Then trees fall over and they knock over our above ground power lines, and it's kind of a pain. But we have nothing, absolutely nothing compared to what's going on in eastern North Carolina, and I feel for those people greatly. It's a terrible, terrible tragedy, and I don't think we've even seen the last of it, because water is still flowing downriver, and so just crazy stuff. So just giving you guys the update. I've also had the question of with shipping, how's that affected us? And our hub is Charlotte. Charlotte has not been affected as far as being able to ship. So we haven't had any problems with delayed shipments because of that. It's all of the east coast of North Carolina, where I'm not at. I mean, obviously if I was trying to ship to eastern North Carolina, you know, there's an issue. But for anyone who's not located in eastern North Carolina, we don't have any shipping delays right now. I just checked on that. So we're good to go. And with that, I'm going to take a quick look at the comments here. See if anyone has any questions. Oh, I see someone. Brian, you finally caught it live. Great. I'm so glad you're here. Hi to Eric and Jody and Mike and Jim and Michael. I mean, gosh, tons of you guys. Bob, Marshall, Mark, thanks so much for all of you guys for joining. Mike Swear says that hooker harnesses are comfortable. That's great. I always love to see the feedback from customers who are using this. So that's great. Bob likes them. Good deal. Lots of people. Here's a question. Do you guys have a catalog? We do not have a catalog. I know that's kind of crazy. We just have our online store. Part of the reason, there's a couple reasons. Number one, it's just me. So I don't know how to run the software. I mean, I can always learn software. I learn new software all the time, but have not gone in to figure out how to do a catalog layout. Number two, we add products so quickly that it would be out of date before we ever hit that print button. And number three, prices change all the time. So, you know, unless I can get a system in place where we could do updated catalogs, and we are reaching that point. It's on my wall here is I have a wish list, and a catalog is one of the things on my wish list, and I just haven't I put my time and energy into making video versus making a catalog. So that, just to answer your question, I think it's a great idea. I'm just one person. So that's, I love Marshall says, my wife took my hat, so I would love to have that shirt. Well, good deal. You'll have a chance here today to win that. Oh, and for anyone who didn't see at the very beginning, what we're talking about is this is our giveaway this week, is our Hookers Save Lives t-shirt from our friends over at Hooker Harness. They make fantastic seatbelts. Absolutely love them. And I just think I think their catchphrase is just hilarious. I mean, I think this is really an attention getting. I love it. Hookers save lives. I mean, if you don't know that it's talking about hooker harness, I think it's funny. So that's why I'm bringing it to the show, because I think it's fantastic. But with that, now we can go ahead and jump in to Top 5 Tuesday. And our number 5 on our list this week here, gotta reach into my magic box of race car parts here, is our SC1. There we go, SC1 high glass coating. Now, I've talked about this before, but for anyone who's new and hasn't seen me talk about this, the reason I started carrying this, I am friends with Gene from Maxima. He's just a fantastic manufacturer's rep, and love talking to him. But what was really key for me is when I went to World Finals a couple years ago and walking around the pits, and you have all of these like super high-end teams, and in between the heat races and the features, you know, just kind of watching what they're doing. I mean, they all have their cars jacked up, and you think, you know, they're probably adjusting shocks or, you know, tweaking in some way, shape, or form. Some of them were. But what I can tell you every team was doing was spraying their car down with SC1. So it really speaks a lot to what this product is meant for. It's meant to put onto any of those surfaces. It's meant for, you can use it also on your four-wheelers. And brings like those plastics, it brings them back to life. But what we're doing on a race car is it keeps that mud and dirt from sticking to the car and really affecting the aerodynamics. Because if you get big old monster clots of mud on your car, it's going to start affecting you. And obviously aerodynamics is a huge deal. And so that's where the SC1 came in. And I don't know why. I always get a scratchy throat when I'm on video. Anyway, so SC1, love it. Some folks were laughing last week because I think it smells like stripper glitter. Just give yourself that visual for just a moment. Other people say it's bubble gum or cotton candy. I mean, there's just all kinds of things, but it really has a really good smell. In fact, they even make air fresheners that smell like SC1. So if you want that kind of candy kind of a smell to it, then SC1 is a great product. But really, it's more about the effectiveness and the performance is why I carry it. Oh, and it runs $10.99 a can. So you can just pick that up in our store. And as I mentioned, I'll have links at the end of this video. I'll post links in the comments or on Facebook. Otherwise, if we're watching this later on YouTube, because I'll post this to YouTube as well. And I'll have comments in the description with links to all of the products that I talk about. Next up, in the number 4 spot is a super popular product that it pops up on Top 5 Tuesday a lot. And that would be our XL1 Daytona 1 XL1 engine treatment. Now, the reason for using this is because it'll bond at a molecular level with ferrous metals. So you add this to your oil as an oil additive. And then what it does is as it goes through the engine, any of those iron surfaces, because when I think of iron, I always think of like jaggedy surfaces, right? And here what it's going to do at a molecular level is bond to those surfaces. So it'll create a smoother, slicker surface to glide over. And anytime we have a smoother, slicker surface instead of a jaggedy surface, we're going to cut down on friction. And if we cut down on friction, we free up horsepower and we cut down on parasitic drag. We cut down on drag. So, and also cooler temperatures. So we found great results. I have lots and lots of customers who use this, and we've gotten great results with the XL1 engine treatment. This happens to be the 16-ounce bottle. It runs $24.95. So one of these, you would add one of these to your oil chain when you're changing your oil and just take out half a quart of oil. So instead of using 7 quarts of oil, you use 6.5 and then 1 bottle of the XL1 engine treatment. And this bottle runs $24.95. Now we're going to move on to the number 3 spot, and we're not going to put this away quite yet, because one thing that we have as in our store is we've put together kits because, well, a couple of different reasons. So we have a kit, we call it an oil change kit, and it comes with 7 quarts of oil, 7 quarts of Schaefer's. It comes with your Wix 51061R oil filter, and you can get one. Well, we have a couple of different kits, but the kit that's number 3 this week is our oil change kit with the XL1 engine treatment. Now, we put these kits together because one of the main reasons is the oils we sell either come in cases of 12 or cases of 10. But since we need 7 quarts of oil per oil change, there's just not a good number of like cases to buy. They're going to have the equal number of oil changes. So it was like, you know what, let's just make it easy for folks and put together 7 quarts of oil, an oil filter. So yeah, you'll get 7 quarts. You really only need 6.5, but I can't even get half quarts of oil. So instead you get 7 quarts. You're going to use half of one of those quarts and then one of the XL1 engine treatments. And that kit runs $96.94. So that is in the number 3 spot. Now, next up in the number 2 spot, let me find a spot for that, is, oh, this is a fun one. Actually, I've added this now as a new decoration in my office, and that is a Dominator Ultimate Wheel Cover. And you can order these in 11 different colors. He's got 11 different colors. I'm trying to see if the color is a little bit brighter right here in front of me. This is like a fluorescent orange. It's looking just normal orange on the camera. But love these. You can get them with the Zeus fasteners, and you can see they're just totally locked in there, so you don't have to worry about them just kind of flying all over the place. I think that's super convenient, and they can kind of scoot around a little bit. You can see, so it'll just adjust to different wheels. So you can get them with the Zeus fasteners like this, or you can choose to have them with wheel bolts, because I know some series has said you cannot use the Zeus fasteners anymore and you have to use wheel bolts. So we have those available. And like I said, in 11 different colors. Plus I like this hole in the center, makes it easy to, well, I mean, look, hey, look, I can, grab it. But, put it on and take it off and all of that to make it faster. And so that's by Dominator. We love the folks. I love working with Bentley at Dominator. Absolutely great guy. And these Dominator wheel covers run $29. And then that's going to go right behind this trophy over here. That's where it lives now because I just think it looks cool in my office. And I don't know, maybe other people decorate their offices with race car parts. I don't know, but I do. So there you go. You have to let me know what you think of that. Just drop a comment and see, is that cool or is it just kind of weird that I have weird stuff in my office, but I like it that way. All right, so that brings us to the number 1 item on our Top 5 Tuesday this week. I wish I could be more surprising. I should probably take this off, but I like talking about them. So that would be our matched sets of 602 valve springs. I mean, week after week, you guys are replacing your valve springs, which I think is great. Because, the great thing about a Crate engine is you just don't have the maintenance that you do with other types of engines. Just a couple of things you need to do. And with the 602s, changing valve springs is one of them. And so what we do with these are genuine GM valve springs. So they're going to be legal no matter what series you run in, because they are They are literally GM valve springs. The only difference is that we buy lots and lots of boxes of them at Crate Insider, and we open them all up and we rate hundreds, if not thousands of springs. And then we take out the bad ones and we put them together in matched sets so that you really are getting the best of the best, and that they're all the same pressures, which is going to be better for your engine. And it's just a good product. So lot of happy customers with these. I love hearing the stories where like, hey, we just put on new valve springs and we won the race. I mean, I love to hear that stuff. But just to let you know, I mean, these are absolutely not cheater valve springs by any means. They are just genuine GM valve springs, but we just have them in match sets for you. And they run $99.75, and that is in the number 1 spot. So with that, I am going to take a look and see if we have any other questions, and if and then I'll bring up random number generator here. Let me actually bring that up in a screen because we haven't done. Oh, I just end up bringing up random password generator. That could be fun. Normally it just like jumps up when I do this here. There we go. So we'll bring that into that screen, and let's take a look here and see other questions here. A lot of great comments on the seat belts. I have to agree. I mean, absolutely love their seat belts. Great comments here about Maximus products, and smells and works great on the SC1. Yes, and let's see. Great. And great. So we've got lots of comments, and pop them in over here. And I'm looking for comment number 44. So Mike Fowler. So Mike, you just won our Hookers Save Lives t-shirt. I mean, this is going to show up as like, I mean, who knows what people are going to say, like, oh wow, like I'm advocating. I have no idea what I'm advocating. Anyway, I think it's funny, so we're going to go with it. But Mike, if you could send me a private message with your address, and then I'll get your t-shirt sent out to you. And I thank each and every one of you for watching. I really appreciate you being here week after week. I have a lot of fun doing this show, and if there's other stuff you want to see on the show, always, I mean, feel free to send me a private message, leave a comment, whatever you got going on. And I will look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 2 o'clock for Top 5 Tuesday.